welcome to a very special edition of It's All Relative. I'm Josh.
And I'm Angela.
And today, we're joined by two of the hosts from the Viriginal Cinephiles Podcast. We'll get to hear about how they got into podcasting, the origins of their show, and what the driving force is behind the theme of their podcast. We'll also talk about the ups and downs of podcasting that they have experienced and the bonds through certain individuals who have connected us all. So you guys already know what to do. Turn it up and let's get it rolling with an all-new episode right here on the It's All Relative podcast. Angela?
Josh, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I've been through a lot this week. Car issues. It's pretty expensive, but I think I'm on the mend.
What kind of car issues?
Radiator blew.
That sucks.
Yeah, my own fault, but I had a fender bender a couple weeks ago. I must have put like a crack in the radiator, and it just built up, and next thing you know, overheating.
That sucks.
And
you got
it's
the car
fixed now, so we're good.
No doubt. All right. Real quick, I do want to say and thank you real quick for all the behind the scene work that you've done for setting up today's show. I'm super excited to have these guys on the show.
As well as I.
Yeah, as you and our listeners know, I love movies, I love podcasting, and these two are associated with both, making their It's All Relative debut. The guys from the Virginal Cinephiles Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Sherry and Danny Rosa.
Hey, what's up?
What's up,
relative
Welcome.
listeners?
Thank you so much for having us.
So excited. I've been anticipating this for a long time.
The anticipation is real.
We're here.
No, we are super thankful and excited to have you guys. Thank you both for agreeing to come on It's All Relative. Angela and I both greatly appreciate it. We're super excited.
You nailed the line perfectly. We paid them to say that. Thank you.
Yeah, 100% our pleasure. I'm so excited to be in the basement with you guys.
Absolutely.
So
We're fans.
professional. We're not used to this level of professionality, so
Yeah.
This is going to be great, though. Like I said, we're pumped, man. But
let's get it.
We're more pumped. Thank you so much.
No doubt.
It's not a
guys.
competition.
No doubt, guys. I've done my homework, and I want to make sure we're getting this right. So first, let me ask you: is it Frankie baby?
It's actually Timothy. I'm just kidding. No.
Surprise.
It's whatever you want it to be. Frankie,
Okay.
Frankie baby, Francois, Francisco,
I'm going with Frankie.
Francois.
Frankie the fireman. It's my stripper name on the weekends.
No doubt.
It's whatever you want it to
Seen
be.
it.
Whatever you want. Yeah. Shh.
Awesome. All right, and then Danny, let me ask you: is it Danny Ling, Danny Bell Peppers?
What's your government
I think
name?
I'm going to stick to Danny Bell Peppers. It's just
It's
got a
good.
ring to it. I think every time I try to introduce myself, Frankie has to chime in with AKA Danny Bell Peppers.
AKA
So
Danny
Yes.
Bell
let's just go
Yep.
with that for now. I like it.
I gotta ask, where did it come from?
Which one?
Danny
Bell.
Bell Peppers.
Okay, so me and Frankie used to work at ShopRite back when we were 18, 19.
Yeah.
First job, and that was just my thing. The bell peppers had to get stacked a certain way, and me being who I am, very meticulous, very perfect. They had to look good, so I was the go-to guy for the bell peppers
He
and the
was
apples.
Danny Bell Peppers.
And the
Danny
apples,
Bell
too.
Peppers.
Danny Bell
Yeah,
Peppers.
so that was the
There you go.
nickname. We all had nicknames, so
I love it.
That's
one
what's
of
up, bro.
many.
That's awesome. You got OCD, bro?
what's that?
Do you have OCD?
No, I'm not
Obviously about the
medicated, but-
peppers.
Yeah,
Me
a
and
little
him
bit.
both have OCD and ADHD at the
Little
same
bit.
time.
I'm a little bit
I'm so totally there too.
I just asked that because I'm very similar. I mean, I'm all about
Yeah.
the particular. I like it, so it's a cool nickname. All right, you guys are two out of the three hosts of your podcast called the Virginal Cinephiles Podcast.
Correct.
So first, talk to us on how you two got into podcasting.
Do you want me to take that one? Or you
Go
want me to
for
try
it. Yeah, it was. I think it was your baby. You kind of.
It was technically your baby, but anyways, let's talk to the people. So, I considered myself like I'm a movie guy.
Right.
I've seen a lot of movies. He loves film and like everything that goes into it, but has never seen Jurassic Park or
Yes, I
E.T.
have.
or don't listen to him. Anything like
AKA the
considered
classics.
right? The classics. And then I'd be like, oh, the blah blah blah, and he'd say, I never seen it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
How
one
are
of
you
those-
going to call yourself
Bro.
a cinephile and you've never seen Jurassic Park? Like, and we grew up there around the same time. So I got mad. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Don't claim yourself to be a cinephile. And then he's like, we should just do a podcast where we watch all these movies and talk about it. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's good. So we both pitched in to get some podcasting equipment, and we messed around with it. It took us a while to figure it out because we did
Yeah.
it kind of on our own.
Right,
And then,
right.
It's therapy.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the end of the day, it's just something that we both needed. It was right before COVID. We
Yeah.
just needed. We missed our friends. We wanted to get together and do something we loved.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I went to school for film. Never pursued anything after college with it. So this was an outlet that I could use to talk about it with people I loved in an environment that was judgmental. And
Like Planet Fitness.
Yeah, like it came from that. And I was talking about it for so long. And Frankie's like, why are you talking about it? Just do it. So one day he just got me the gear. Was it for my birthday or Christmas?
It was your birthday.
He got
I
a
think-
full podcast kit similar to this,
Yeah.
and we just went after it. We hit the basement,
What a
started
guy.
talking. Our first episode was, what was it?
Alien.
And this is an unreleased episode that this is the 100th time we've talked about it. But I think Josh has the outlet to get that episode out for us. So
Yeah.
we'll talk.
Yeah, we have it in the archives.
We have 6 episodes in the archives that people have not shown any interest in, but we're going to get them out there anyway.
It's fine.
Somehow.
Aliens was a great movie,
It,
bro.
it
That's
was a
classic.
great one. Yeah, and it was perfect too when we watched it. There was this. Anyway, listen to the podcast. We'll send it to you if you're a fan or something. Anyway, but yeah, Alien was great. It was our first baby.
That's awesome. That was great.
It was very exciting doing that.
Are there any, I guess, shows or other podcasts that have helped influence or guide you guys when it
Yes.
comes to your show?
It's all relative.
Yeah. This is a big one. I think
Yeah, we
it's all
paid
relative.
you to say that. No, I'm just kidding.
We also had my friend's podcast, Your Sequel Sucks, and it was great. It was my friend Luke and Nick they were in a band called Norris Stone, and they started doing, they're movie buffs too, and they just go on like mostly horror movies, but like any other movie that had their sequel and how the sequels always suck. It's nothing compared to the first one. It's just a rare few that have like good sequels.
Yeah.
But that was great, and it was mostly just RoboCop being shit on. It was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. It's a good listen. If you want to listen to a good podcast, go listen to Your Sequel Sucks. I don't plug them again.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good guys.
For me, it was a lot of Rogan. I
course.
listened to countless movie podcasts. Just
Mhm.
I love, like I said, before we started here, we were talking about DVDs and collecting. For me, I love listening after I watch a film, the breakdown of it by professionals, like people
Right.
who are they're pretty smart in the industry and can talk about films free flowing. So for me, it's just that. I mean, like you said, it's all relative too. You guys influence our structure.
We've stolen some things from you. It's fine.
Yeah, we just pick apart. Like I listen to so many podcasts now. I don't listen to radio anymore.
Right.
It's just podcasts.
I mean, we appreciate the love,
Absolutely. You guys
Definitely.
deserve it, man.
Thank you. Let me ask you real quick, though, bro. Who's your favorite director?
Oh, that's such a tough question. I was anticipating that too.
You're usually
That's
a
like-
toss-up.
That's like
top
who's your
three.
or what's your favorite song? You can't answer that.
Tough. Okay.
But
Depends
I
on
think
your mood, right?
It's easier than what's your favorite movie. So I'll give you 3. I'll say Spielberg.
Mm-hmm.
He just pumps out blockbusters. You can't go wrong. David Fincher, who I think does really good aesthetic. And then who else? Stanley Kubrick, the master.
Right on. You agree with that list, Frankie?
I'm not director-wise. Like I don't know who made what, but
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm sure everything that Kubrick had a little slip up with
Can I say
Blade
one
Runner.
more?
Yes, absolutely.
Christopher Nolan.
My guy is James Cameron. I love all the Avatars and The Abyss and Titanic, obviously.
Oh, bro,
yeah.
me too.
Dude, yeah.
I'm a big fan of actually all 3 of those movies that you just said. Avatar was me. Did you see the second one?
Yeah. Way of Water.
Did
I'm a water nut, too. Like, I should have been a fish in my...
Did you like it
I loved
better
it.
than the first one? I haven't seen it. That's why. And I've heard so many different things about it.
It's streaming on Disney+. Plus. You should watch it.
Yeah.
And I think
better.
Amazon, too. Yeah. It's on.
I don't know. Better's tough to say better.
I think it was equal...
It levels up to the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dope.
But there's a whole new element now because it's... Well, I don't want to spoil, but it's based on like a water tribe, and
right.
then there's a whole different. It's very cool, very very cool.
You're biased
awesome.
though, because like you said, you're an aquatic themed kind of guy, so
So
it's good.
there's movies about water that sucked. What do you want from me? I usually like them all anyway, but it doesn't matter.
Anaconda.
Yeah, Anaconda. Ice Cube and J-Lo.
Whoa, I saw that movie in the
Throwback.
movie theater. Actually, you know what? I know we're going to mention it later. I don't want to spoil anything, but I was a kid. I mean, what year did that movie come out?
Anaconda?
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
Oh
Young
my
Jamie.
God, that
shit
was-
was
Let's
mad
guess.
old.
What do you think, Angela?
The year Anaconda came out,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say late in the 90s, early
97.
I'm gonna go 96.
I just put my
J-Lo in her prime.
I just remember that was a little freaky for
You
me.
are a J-Lo fan, aren't you, bro? That's
Um,
right? Or no? Or who?
I wouldn't call myself a fan, but like that was the first film I ever saw in theaters was J-Lo doing Selena.
Oh,
That was
Right on.
untouchable.
97, you got it.
yeah.
Anaconda.
Selena.
So, back in 97, I was in the movie theaters in Newburgh watching that movie with, we'll get to him, but Rob Mahoney.
Ooh, small
Shout out
world.
Rob.
Shout out Rob Mahoney,
It's all
the
relative.
beast.
Yeah.
Love that
So,
guy.
but like I said, we probably gonna steer back into that in a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But real quick, talk to us about your guys' show, the Virginal Cinephiles.
Mm-hmm.
The name, your guys' theme of the
man.
whole show. I mean, I'm sure for our network, this is going to be the first time maybe that they've heard or are going to hear about your guys' show.
Probably we're not that popular, so thank you for
So-
your.
Well, you might be soon.
Frankie touched on it. Like I call myself a cinephile, but at the end of the day, like I was a sheltered kid who didn't have access to like widely known popular films.
Mhm.
So this was kind of our outlet to get a chance to see those films and talk to them, talk about them now that we're older and we can speak a little more freely on it. The name Virginal Cinephiles. How many
We
iterations?
went through like 50 names, and
Yeah.
they were all taken or just sounded stupid.
Everything
and
was
we're-
taken, but yeah, I wanted to
it's
stick
tough.
with that theme of first time movies. So yeah, we just had at least 10 or 15 different iterations of the name.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think it's got
I
a
think
ring
it's a
to it.
great name.
I do too. I think it.
The
really
one
was.
reaction that I get all the time when I mention your guys' show to other people or whatever, when I mention the title, they always their first response is wait, what?
I had that too, actually.
They're always like, wait, what? What's it called?
there's
What's
just a
it
bunch of
about?
virgins who watch movies together.
But then when I explained it, they're like, "Oh, that's awesome."
That's what I'm saying because your guys' show is very impressive. I'm a huge, like I said, a huge movie buff.
Thank you.
The world loves movies. People
Mm-hmm.
love watching movies. If people actually have some downtime, you know,
Yeah.
they're popping in a movie or
It's a
something to watch.
universal language.
You think about that, we talk about it all the time, especially for our generation. One of the biggest things was you found your friends by walking around quoting Anchorman with
Yeah.
everybody, and whoever could do that was your best friend, and it's still
That's a great
kind of
one.
ring true. It's so fun. Everyone relates to movies. How many times they're referenced in pop culture or any conversation all the
Right.
time?
Yeah, it's therapy for me. I mean, we work so many hours and we all have families, but this is somewhere we can relax and just chill out and not have to worry about. We can focus for 2 hours on a picture, several moving pictures, and
Yeah.
it like tells us a story, makes us feel something.
Yeah, it's just
It
like
sounds
music.
ridiculous, but
People
I don't
have
know.
movies that have like saved their lives or like saved them from a depression. They put on one of the movies that they love or like a comfort movie.
Absolutely.
Like me, I fall asleep to movies. Like I have to have something, and I have a list of like it just kind of puts me at ease because I was happy and comfortable always watching those movies. So I definitely have a love for that kind of stuff.
If you don't mind me asking, bro, what's one of the movies?
One of there's so many. Actually, really funny. It's the old cartoon version of Pete's Dragon. I know you make fun of me all the time, but it's on
That's
Disney Plus. I love that movie. It's
Is it
one
on
of-
Disney Plus?
Yeah, yeah. The old one with the actual card, not the new. I didn't
Right,
see that
yeah,
one.
no.
It's probably trash.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I actually think I own that on VHS.
Yeah,
back in
so
the
did I.
day.
Yeah, that was one of my. And then The Office is one of my
there you
shows that I could
That you could
have
fall
on all the
asleep to.
time. That and The Sopranos. Those are my two shows. That
Bro,
listen.
I'm a fucking huge Sopranos fan. That's my favorite show ever, bro. I tell everybody I think it's
a good choice.
Amazing.
It is.
In so many ways. I feel like I could do a whole fucking
Is he alive or is
Show.
he dead?
yeah, right? I loved I don't know if we should steer off like
Let's
that,
not
but-
steer off
but
for that. Yeah, but yes.
That's,
Save it for our next time we're on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. But the only reason why I asked you that was because, when I was before I was married and whatnot, I'd lay in bed and fall asleep to movies all the time too, or TV shows. And one of the TV shows that I would always fall asleep to was Friends.
Yeah.
And one of the movies was Meet the Parents.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know why. It was just
hilarious. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But,
Ben Stiller is he's a comfort movie kind of guy in general. I love
Also
that.
a great director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tropic Thunder. So good.
But back to your original question,
Sorry.
the whole theme really came from just three friends hanging out on a couch talking about movies as our therapy, and like we've never seen, like Taylor was saying that she's our co-host. We've all been in that situation where your friends are talking about a really classic movie and you're like, oh, I've never seen it. They make you feel like an asshole.
That's
so that
me.
was
I'm
me.
that
That's
friend. Yeah.
That's literally
I get
me and
that a
Taylor.
lot.
We just felt left out of all these moments that we could be experiencing with our friends. So this is our outlet to talk about those films and watch them and really break them down.
That's awesome. No, that's special. You did mention a third member of your show, Taylor.
The elusive
Somewhat,
Taylor.
I was going to
Okay,
say,
just Taylor.
somewhat of a mystery,
The
right?
mythical Taylor.
I mean, what's without I guess being too direct or anything, what's up with Taylor?
So Taylor is one of our closest, dearest friends. We love her to death, and she
Love you, bro.
She found out we were doing this and was like, "I want to join." So we're like,
She
"Fuck
invited
yeah, we're going to join."
herself.
And she's a perfect fit for our podcast because we play off of each other so well. I'm like the OCD. I'm very meticulous. I look at film on structure and like shots and everything that goes into making it. Where Frankie is the type of guy. I've seen everything. Like he can pretty much read off the lines of any film just like that.
That's a
Taylor's
skill,
a
bro.
perfect
I've
mix
seen a
where
lot.
she loves the structure and can speak about films like that, but is also an average moviegoer. But she's so good on mic. Like she can play off both of our energies. So we work so well together. I love it.
Right,
I also
right.
feel like Taylor brings a lot of like B-side movies, if you will. Like she loves like off the like not maybe cult classics or like things that are good but never get enough credit.
Right.
Got you.
And it's again, she's
Just
a great fit. Yeah.
Great speaker too. I think she can speak off the cuff on pretty much any topic with little research.
That's
Whereas
good.
me, like I need to research heavily,
Right.
and Frankie's very free flowing.
I wing it. Yeah.
So yeah, like we said earlier, that's really our motto. Just wing it, and as long as you have your best friends to back you up, that's really all you need.
I know, that's beautiful, bro. I am a subscriber to your show,
you.
your guys'
Okay,
show.
right.
Thank you so much.
I am a fan, and I was going to mention that Taylor is a big part of your guys' show. You guys are a very good trio.
Thank
that
you.
was one thing that I think we had mentioned too. You guys can tell from listening to your show that you three have a very good chemistry. It's
Bro, I
a-
got chills. I love us.
You guys-
Hashtag I love us.
Hashtag I love us.
So yes, you the Virginal Cinephiles Podcast, you guys fit together like good
Appreciate
puzzle
that.
pieces. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I fit that into the intro of almost every podcast episode we've done. It's like we're really just three best friends hanging out in a basement in Frankie's mom's house,
Yeah.
talking about films that we've never seen.
Yep.
That's awesome. Though.
That's all you need.
But let me ask you guys then real quick. Do you guys have a favorite show that you've done? And if so, why?
There's a couple of them.
Episode that we've
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
I think you want to go 1, 2, 3.
Clueless. Yeah.
Oh, right on. So you both agree.
Yeah,
Cool.
90s
That's good.
classic, just easy to talk about. I think comedy helps. but
Yeah.
It's one that we all loved, and
I
like,
was not expecting to love it at
It
all.
was so
And
good.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I can't remember. I apologize. Was that your first time watching Clueless?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah,
Okay.
it was mine too.
Really?
Mhm.
So Taylor was the one that recommended
Taylor
that?
was the one.
It's
Yeah.
one of
Okay.
her favorites.
Have
And
you,
this
have you-
I've
I'm
seen
sorry.
it, yeah.
Okay.
It was hilarious.
I love that movie.
Absolutely
Yeah,
hilarious.
early on during the podcast, we had an idea to rotate who picks. Like each three of us would pick that week's episode, and that was her pick.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
I
like the
think-
idea.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Right on. Maybe let me ask you guys: is there one episode that you've done that you would recommend to
Listening.
a new listener, and if so, why? Besides Clueless,
I gotta look at our lineup.
I would
forget.
say either Requiem for a Dream was good That's our most listened to.
I'm still surprised
episode.
to this day.
I listened to that episode and I could relate so much because that movie made me so
It makes you
sick
feel
to
so-
mine.
yeah.
It was just,
yeah.
I was, and you took me back and I was like, no, I don't want to go back. I
Yeah.
don't want to go back with
Yeah,
this.
there's a lot of dark shit in that
There
film.
was.
And
That was the
it's-
roughest.
The one thing I remember the most about that podcast as we talk about it, that scene, like every 2 seconds it cuts to another scene. The longest scene in that movie is when the mom is taking her and like her and Jared Leto, or I forget what the character's name was, but it was the longest scene and it was like you focused in on it because you had no other option. It was a slow drag, kind of like Michael Corleone in The Godfather. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sets up that tone. But it's such like quick flashes, even with the drugs and the money and the sounds and the clips when they're doing the thing.
And I watched it in such a fucked up era in my
Yes,
life. I was
yeah.
like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
That was a good one. I would say Casablanca was
Yep,
one of our
that's
favorites.
what I was gonna say.
And Rosemary's Baby was 10 out of 10. That was great too.
I think Casablanca because on the topic
got
of
everything.
film,
Yeah.
if you're gonna get into film, you should appreciate the classics.
classics.
And that's one of the best structured films of all time.
Even for a movie in black and white, like
Yeah.
it's so good.
Every film today has paid homage to that.
Yeah.
And it's like a forefather as far as cinema goes.
Yeah, you could see every little background hint with a shadow in the background or
beautiful.
what lighting.
It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful picture. Like
Yeah.
it's everything about it.
That's awesome. Classic is classic, right?
100%. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Casablanca? No, that was one.
What is
movie-
wrong with you? You
That's
need to be
one-
on the Virginal.
Yeah.
Can I touch
Well,
on
at
one
least
more
I don't
thing
feel
too?
so bad. then.
Absolutely.
So early on, a lot of people thought we only did classic films in the sense of like early
Like black and white.
40s, 50s, 60s.
Mhm.
That's not the theme. It's more just well-known, popular films that pretty much everyone has seen. So
Right.
that's something we always kind of have to touch on when we talk about what we podcast on.
Right. No, that's a good clarification, bro, because I was going to mention you guys got a nice list of movies that you guys have done or episodes.
Right.
And I had written down 4 that I was a big fan of. I mean, there were others that, are classics too. I just didn't want to make my list fucking so long,
yeah.
But you guys mentioned real quick Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
You guys did touch on it. So, one of my favorite shows or episodes too that you guys have done, I actually do own that movie solely for two. It's one movie that I've seen maybe only 3 times in my life. All 3 times have been fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Of course.
What
of
movie
what
is
happens.
that?
Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, I thought you
But-
said something else.
No, but like I said, the movie, the way that it was filmed, the things that they addressed, very relatable with certain shit. But that one was great. Goonies was
my second.
was absolutely. When I was a
great
kid,
movie.
amazing. I'm a big fan of Heat. I thought Heat was a great.
He was an
movie.
underrated episode. We had a great time doing that one. Yeah.
It's up there. That's one of my favorites.
Great movie. That one was a great episode. And this one, I actually was super stoked when I saw this come up when you guys had released this one. American Pie.
Yeah. That was a Taylor pick. Yeah.
Oh, shout out Taylor. Good
Yeah.
job. That movie was like, just for me growing up at that time, I
It was
remember when
iconic,
it came
yeah.
out, fucking VHS, you're in like middle school or some shit, right? Sitting there and you're like amazed.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, great fucking movie,
It's
bro.
so good.
I think we found our demographic though, right around those kind of
Yeah.
themes. It's like late 30s. You're looking at films that were from the late 80s or early 90s.
Yeah. Through 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some iconic shit going on during our time. Man. It's
We
great.
did mention earlier, and I apologize if you guys have done it because I can't remember, but have you guys done an episode on Jurassic Park?
No, so that was going to be our first episode. And
Okay.
then me and Frankie started bickering, as we always do, on should we, is it the right one? I was certain I'd seen it,
Uh-huh.
and this was just in the format of like a film that I've seen enough scenes to be able to put it all together. So we really wanted to stick to the theme of like first time seeing
Yeah.
a film in its entirety.
Gotcha.
And I felt at the time that Jurassic Park didn't fit that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you since watched it all the way through, or
No.
Okay.
Not since.
Not a fan? Or
No,
not-
like I
not-
said, Spielberg's my favorite.
Okay.
One of my favorites. So it just hasn't come around. Lately,
I got you.
the films I'm focusing on, like I'm trying to keep it to new films that I've
Mhm.
never seen, so we can talk about it. If not soon, definitely later along the lines.
Awesome. Angela, let me ask you real quick. You are a subscriber to their show as
I'm
well.
a new subscriber,
Hey,
so
thanks.
I've
All are
only
welcome.
listened to a
Thank
few
you.
episodes thus far,
That's okay.
but
Well-
I'm hooked. So
Well,
Appreciate you.
what's one of your favorite, ones, or one that you would recommend to people?
Pressure's on.
well, I
Angel.
like the My Cousin Vinny one.
Hey!
I happen to absolutely love that movie.
So do I.
Shout out Lauren.
So
Lauren
that would be
Durst.
the one. Out of all the ones I've seen thus far, that would be the one that I would.
I would agree with you.
I've gotten a lot of shit for the rating I gave it.
Yeah,
Mostly just from Lauren, who recommended
I'm
it.
still not over
I
it.
gave you a
Wait,
little shit in
What-
my head.
Wait, what was your rating? What was your rating?
Don't even
Five.
ask.
It was
It was like
5
a
or
five.
6.
It was, I think, a 5. I
think
think
at
you
a
tried
10,
to
that's
make it
good.
a 6, and
Yeah.
then you were like, no. We went. I think Taylor wanted to go with your original 5
yeah.
or something.
I don't know.
Dead to
I
me.
stand by it.
Dead to me.
I didn't hate it. I was comparing it to every film we've seen since,
Mhm.
and it just
Still
wasn't
superior.
amazing. It wasn't terrible. It was right there in the middle for me. So 5 felt right. I'm sorry if I offended anybody.
No offense. So, what is your favorite genre of film?
Indie,
And
low
you?
budget indie films.
I don't have a particular genre. If it's good, it's good. Also, to his point, like he really looks into details of everything. I'm pretty simple to please. There's a few movies that I don't like, very few. Suicide Squad, Blade Runner, and there's a couple in there, but I don't want to shit
Blade
on
Runner's
anybody.
tough.
Yeah.
No one gave us direct shit for not liking that film, but I don't know. We just weren't expecting it to.
Yeah, I think if I was
Drag.
there when it came out, it would be
Yeah.
awesome. But it was just and it was weird. And there
Looking
was,
at it
weird
in
things.
retrospect, I really did appreciate, like I said, the background and everything that went into it, the look of it. It's amazing. It looks great. It's just,
It set the tone for a lot of futuristic
yeah,
movies.
I don't know why. It's just that day we were all pretty down. Like, this is not the film we needed. We needed Princess Bride or something.
Oh, so good. It's another one.
Right on. Angela, you got anything else? We're gonna take a quick break soon, but
I can hold off until we get back.
all right. Well,
Leave the people wanting more.
let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue to hear about some of the ups and downs the guys have experienced when it comes to podcasting, some lessons learned, some some movie creation talk, and the people who we share common threads with that have linked us all in a strange way. So make sure you come back with us right here on the It's All Relative podcast.
Boom in the game now, shit's insane now. Explode next mode, I'm the same how. Don't say you know me, just say you did. When you see me sliding off to another crib. Boom in the game now, I'm the same how. The rap game will never be the same now. Don't say you know me, just say you did. And when you hear YO, say that's that shit.
Welcome back to It's All Relative. Still with us in studio, Frankie Baby
Yeah.
and Danny Bell Peppers.
Oh, hello.
All right, so what would you guys say? You've been podcasting for about 2 years or so, give or take?
Well, yeah.
We
Just about.
started right around COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me then ask you both, what is it about podcasting that you both most enjoy?
Besides, like the therapy of it all, just being with your friends and talking about movies. Like I love watching movies that I've seen before and rediscovering things that I never got to see before, and appreciate movies even more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and seeing movies for the first time and being like, I can't believe I didn't see this, or this was so good. Like even movies that you wouldn't expect to be like deep like that, you look at the details, like it talks about all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh shit, you're right. Like Requiem for a Dream.
Mhm.
Talked about all those small cut scenes and then that long drawn out scene. It's so well done that it just draws you in. It's incredible. I never noticed anything like that until this podcast.
For me, it's the therapy sessions. Like, I just need so much
We
of
don't
my
care about
friends.
movies.
I need to hang out with my friends for my sanity. And this was an outlet where I could do both of my favorite things. Hang out with people I love and talk about a topic that I'm really passionate about. it was at a perfect time. Like COVID, we couldn't go out, we couldn't socialize like we normally would. So this was an outlet where we met up on a couch, kept our distance, and we did our thing, and it was just fun to hang out.
Yeah, I think that's really when the whole podcasting game, whatever, really took off during COVID. I mean, that's pretty much around, I believe, the time when I started. When we started this show. But so I can relate with that. But let me kind of flip that a little. Is there anything that you guys don't particularly enjoy when it comes to podcasting?
Watching bad movies and having to talk about it for an hour and change. It's a rare occasion, but it does happen. But I think most of the time it's the scheduling, and if we can't get it done, then there's been movies like I think we talked about before where it's you do all this work to watch it, and then something happens and we can't get together, and then it's like as an adult you have so much time to do stuff, and then it just kind of falls at the wayside. No one's fault in particular. Shit happens all the time, but that's definitely something that's frustrating. But it's mostly good things, in all honesty.
We touched on it earlier before we started recording. It really is just being very anal and OCD about the quality of what you're putting out. And it seems like so easy. People think, oh, you're just speaking into a microphone, but
there's
like Josh had mentioned, there's so much editing and structure that goes into it. You really have to plan this in advance and take your notes. So that can get frustrating, but I wouldn't say I don't like it. I enjoy a challenge at the end of the day.
I would also say, forgetting things to talk about.
Yeah.
Because as we start talking, we go on a rant, and then we finish, we're like, fuck, we didn't talk about that thing.
That just happened before we took break.
Yeah. That's probably the worst part.
I like how you worded that, Danny, with challenges, because it is challenging for people who do podcasts or have podcast shows. People don't understand how much time and effort and everything goes into it, and it's not just a quick sit down, let's press record, and then after that shit's all good, and that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So
it does feel too like a part-time job, but it's one that I really enjoy putting effort into, and we reap the benefits. Like, I listen to every episode. I don't care how self-conscious that sounds. I love it. I think we're great together. So I listen to them, and people wonder, they're like, well, you're not making any money off of it. Why are you putting so much effort? It's like, it's not about getting anything in return.
It's for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
I 100% relate. I mean, can you? I mean, we
Definitely.
don't. I mean, we haven't made, and I mean, we can't quit our normal day jobs for this shit as much as we want to.
Not yet.
Yeah, give it time. We would. I mean, because
when the movie rights come out.
Who the hell is Rogan?
Because I 100% relate and understand what you were saying, Danny, about all that. I mean, podcasting is fun. I enjoy it, and something, and you have to enjoy it to continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot.
Yeah, as a single mom, it's like the one thing I look forward to on a Saturday night. Most people are like, they don't want to hang out. There's not much to do.
Everyone gets
fun.
that. When
I come here,
absolutely.
Just chill.
When I have my music gigs or this, I'm like, I don't want to fucking do anything. And then you do it, and you're like, I'm glad I did it. This is nice, Yeah.
And listening to your shows or the things that you've done, let me tell you, I do the same exact thing. You have to. When you are passionate or care about what you're trying to put out there, you want to listen to it again. And I mean, to be able to, pinpoint or find little things that other people aren't going to know. But I mean, you guys, because you guys do this shit, you're going to know exactly what to fix or what you can critique to make everything better.
You're always critical of yourself.
I come back to Frankie and Taylor with notes based on the previous episode. Like, hey, this is something we could work on. Or I'll get ideas like, what if we incorporated this topic that next time?
Yeah.
Yeah, our show's come a long way. It started one way, and then it's like a whole different thing now.
Yeah, and we keep changing. But
for the better, I think, though.
Change is good. Embrace it.
That's right.
Change is good. I mean,
scary,
I guess
but it's good.
Yeah, you got to evolve or go along with it, or else you're going to be left behind.
Yeah.
But let me ask you guys: either of you personally or collectively, as a show, you guys experience any negative reactions or feedback or anything that, makes you second guess having a show?
Not yet, luckily, but I think Frankie touched on it earlier. We embrace it. Please comment, share, reach out. There's a number.
Shit on us openly.
We have a hotline. You can leave us comments verbally if you don't want to be a keyboard Nazi. By all means, give us a call.
Yeah, we have that
respond.
voicemail on Spotify.
Right now, I'm the only critique. Like I said, I listen back to episodes and I'll correct issues or topics that we got wrong. Like we said something about an actress who was in a film and it was a different actress. So I went in the comments and I let the listeners or whoever's looking at it know. We're conscious of it. But yeah, if you think you got something negative to say, please, by all means, let us know.
You can't fix it if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's true.
That's awesome. That's a great attitude to have, too. Because, some of the hardest things, too, we experienced that, too, and especially in the beginning, is trying to get feedback. People can tell you, verbally, but, that's cool, thank you. But, it does help out. Type that shit out. Please send that shit. It makes a huge difference.
We live in a culture now where I think people really stick to that. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's no, you can still say something. You
have to know who you're talking to. Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Be kind, not nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we also live in a world nowadays where reviews are everything.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, but reviews basically, they make or break shit. You know what I'm saying? And
you're never gonna please everybody, but. Again, if you think there's something that could make the podcast better or whatever you're doing, tell us. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But
it is tough with podcasting, though. I notice, if you don't like something or you disagree with what they're talking about, you're probably just going to unsubscribe, stop listening to that episode halfway through.
I would compare it to...
These guys suck. The quality sucks. Turn it off. On to the next.
I would compare it to music. That's not metal enough, or I'm not. That's not fucking hard enough. I'm not going to listen to that. Those guys, whatever.
Right.
Which is welcome too. If you're not going to listen to, if you're just going to be negative, then get the fuck out of here.
It's not for you.
Yeah. But if you want to be
the
fuck out of here. If you want to be genuinely helpful, even if it's something straightforward and blunt, please. We welcome it by all means. And then people are listening.
Absolutely.
With me, music too, how did you like? Oh, it was awesome. Nobody listened to it or they didn't want to say anything mean. Tell me. I want to hear everything that you...
We just opened the floodgates with a wave of negative comments now.
I'm going out retired right now.
It's a good run. Good run.
All right, well, then let me once again flip that real quick and then ask you guys, are there any positive reactions or feedback or any good things that, help fuel you guys to stay persistent?
You said it earlier that you can tell the chemistry is there between me, Danny Bell Peppers, and Taylor, just Taylor. And, it's definitely, it's fun. And it's mostly the banter and the flow of how things go. We go off on tangents all the time. But a lot of that is what positive feedback that we hear. That you can just have us on in the background listening to it and maybe get a laugh out of it or something and still learn something about the movie.
My cousin Jessie was one of our callers recently, and she said listening to us helped her to start looking at films a little bit more analytically, where she's noticing and picking up on things that she probably wouldn't have noticed before. So I think that's a huge benefit. If you can look at a film like me and appreciate it more, going into any other film you're going to see, that's my job well done.
She went viral on, what was it, Pinterest or something? Because she watched
Reddit.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus, she got her first.
And she realized, what's his name? The league. Anyway, his shirt, the tie-dye colors were the same colors as the witches. And no one else had noticed that before. I don't know if you've seen it.
In the first one?
In the first one, yeah. So it was that red, purple, and green were his tie-dye colors, and those were the three.
She also made our logo that you see
it's great.
log on to Spotify, the logo for the Virginal Cinephiles. She made that. She's pretty artistic. So shout out to Jessie. Anybody wants a logo? That's your gal.
100%.
What's her name? Shout out Jessie?
Yeah, Jessie.
Right.
Jestron.
Yeah.
The real one.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let me ask you guys then real quick. Any advice either of you would share to anyone who is trying or maybe wanting, or starting a podcast themselves?
Feel it out. You're going to have, or maybe you're lucky and just hit it the right time. But again, we were a whole different form. We would go through movies scene by scene, and it was just so dragged on and dragged out. You just kind of find or ask your friends for feedback. We were lucky enough to have friends to make suggestions like, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 cherries popped. Is it the J-Lo test? Does it still hold up today? Is there anything cringe about it? Like, nowadays there's things there's so many movies out there that were like, you can't do The Office, Tropic Thunder, anything like that. You can't make those movies anymore. And like, it's things like that. You're like, I would have never thought about that. And that could just be a little niche thing or just something you enjoy talking about. I personally love when we do the who would you recast it as if it was out today? And that's fun to do.
Yeah, those little things that you guys do and slide in your show, I like because as you guys progress too, doing more of the shows, like you almost, me as a listener, you find yourself waiting or listening, waiting to hear what
Yeah, you're waiting for that part
going
of the podcast.
through. Yeah. Which one, is that person going to pass the J-Lo test?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We
And
do
does it hold up?
Yeah.
For me, advice-wise, I would say just talk about what you love. If you're podcasting, it's because it's a topic that you feel you're knowledgeable on. So don't put so much thought and effort into pleasing people. That's an issue that I had to overcome.
Yeah,
and
do it for
Frankie and
yourself.
Taylor really helped me with that. They're like, listen, this is therapy. We're doing this for fun. Do whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. Who cares? Nobody's listening.
And that's my line. But that's the reason why we love listening to our own podcast. Because we do it for ourselves.
We're funny as shit, and I don't care what you think. Like, I love my friends, and I get a hit. I'll laugh my ass off on a car listening to us. Like,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
it's good, man.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
That
fun.
is awesome. All right, Frankie, let me ask you something real quick, bro.
Talk to me.
So, okay, word is that you have been in or acted in a movie?
We
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
kind of a big deal, you guys.
I'm really not at all.
He's a jack of all trades.
I mean, that's what I'm gathering. I mean, Frankie's a podcaster, movie, fucking rock star. I mean, we'll get into that shit too. But I mean, first let's talk about this movie thing. I mean, because we don't know anything about it. We're very interested for a few reasons. But I also, talk to us.
Well, I did a couple little things, and I always thought it was fun. Like, I did a reimagining of The Shining with my friend Dante Mata in high
Shout
school.
out Dante.
Yeah, and anyway, it was a lot of fun, and it was scary because at the same time, like, I had to run through the house. Have you seen The Shining by any chance? I know you're not a horror movie.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen that.
Josh, have you
Here's
seen it?
Johnny.
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
he's
Yes.
dragging through the house with that. Him and like 20 of his friends were downstairs watching me act,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh my god!" But it worked out good. But I was just recently in a movie called Blood Pawn,
Blood Pawn.
right? And it's a low budget sci-fi movie from Dominique, and Crown Fox Productions is her thing. Shout out Dominique. And it was a sci-fi film where it's Italian vampires versus like Russian werewolves.
So it's basically like a fairy tale mob film. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It was a good pitch.
And
I loved it.
I ended up showing up as an extra one day, and I was just being me. And she's like, "You need to be in the movie." I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm down. I'll give it a shot." I had to shave. I didn't like that, but that's it. She promised me I don't have to shave again. But it was a lot of fun, and our friend Taylor was also in the movie, and it's on YouTube. You could find it, Blood Pawn. Just type in Blood Pawn and
Crown Fox
Fox
Productions.
and it'll come up. And it was a short little film, very very fun. There's a couple of really cool shots in there. But she's been making movies for a while.
I've been working with her for a long time. I'm pretty savvy. I have a lot of film gear, and I would always assist her. Like, she's a up and coming director, local, and she's just always working. So after a few projects, she asked me to come onto this one, and I couldn't do it. But she had asked, "Do you know anybody who can be an actor or just help out on set?" I was like, "Yeah, these guys are great."
Just
They went
volunteering
to help
for
out
shit.
one day, and Frankie was like, a boom operator or something?
Yeah, it was the sound for. I was
then
holding the microphone
a lot
for
of-
Taylor's scene.
Yeah, a lot of actors
Nice.
ended up dropping out last minute, so she would just sub people in. And Frankie, being who he is, can just work off the cuff, supernatural. He's very familiar with The Mob and like Sopranos, all those films. So
That's
he honed in on it, and
Yeah,
now he's a freaking star.
No. It was a lot of fun.
But you were so good that like she has a whole video dedicated to bloopers, and it's pretty much just you and the other guy who had the camera.
Yeah, John. Yeah, that
Great
was fun.
time. Like it looked so much fun. I was so upset that I missed out on it.
That's
all
nice.
right.
But that's awesome, bro. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes long. It's great. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, the reason why I asked you that is just because I'm on my spare time or whatnot in the last year, I've kind of put together this this movie script that I had some help with,
Bro.
from like an author that we know, and we kind of tried to tweak this and work on it and stuff, and we were just trying to, get some ideas and whatnot and stuff.
so
but
excited
we
right
may,
now.
yeah,
Oh, we got to talk about something.
yeah,
I'm
we,
just-
we may want to talk with you, bro. Because I mean, it's actually quite weird because I didn't know what the movie was about that you had talked about, but I don't know if I should say what it's about.
No.
Keep on coming
Not
back,
unless
bro.
you have, like,
Come
a
back.
trademark for it.
All right,
Patent
but
that shit, bro.
I feel like it's a good, it's a pretty good,
I heard it and I'm into it. I think it'd be.
If Angela likes it, it's got to be good.
right on,
It's got to be good. We're in.
Seal of approval.
right on.
Golden star.
All right, cool. So, real quickly now, I just want to clarify: all of us meeting today is our first time.
Correct.
But there are a few people.
Virginal podcasters.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Since you mentioned that too, bro, I meant to say this earlier too about your guys' logo. I am a fan, and I do like the idea of the whole.
That's so weird because we love your logo.
Oh, I appreciate.
Are those the
that,
headphones
brother.
that are on the Planet
No.
Earth? Oh, I
No,
thought
it
those were the
wasn't.
ones.
I got to give
Wait.
credit actually to Alex Pennington who made
Yes,
our other
he made
logo.
that's on all of our shirts.
That's
He
the
did a
one you'll
great
see.
job.
You'll see that on Instagram and on our gear.
Nice.
I think now's a good time. I did bring you guys some gifts.
Oh, bro,
First time gifts, I think, right?
that is. Thank you, bro. That is.
Look at this.
Navy
Trucker
blue
hats for
or-
everybody.
Yeah, we were.
Color, like,
That's so cool.
You packaged that great too, by the way. Wow. Shout out.
Thank you so much, bro.
gear
That
for
is
you guys.
that is really awesome. We are in the
Nice.
process of trying to get merch together and too, so I apologize.
You let us know, bro.
that
We'll
is-
rock it.
Pops
Yeah.
the
But,
cherry.
Rock the cherry.
So that logo you see on the T-shirt and the hats.
That was
is
Alex
made
Pennington,
By Alex. Very artsy as well.
Throw it on for
Beautiful.
the picture.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Look at
More
that.
shirts are
That's
coming,
great.
guys.
Oh.
Yeah,
We
we're
gotta-
working on a bunch of merch,
So-
stickers and koozies and stuff like that. You
Yeah,
know, just some fun stuff.
I love it. I love the push of merch. I'm all about that stuff. Well, we are trying to get and level up as well. So
Yeah. That's another thing, though. It's another process and another
Absolutely.
painstaking thing. Yeah, it's
But thank you so much
Absolutely.
for that.
Thank
for
you,
having
man.
us. That was awesome. But real quick, I mean, we can touch it. Let's talk about some of these special individuals real quick. Frankie,
Yes.
one of your band members,
Yes.
has been on It's All Relative before.
true.
Shout out to Robert Mahoney.
The Beast.
Robert
Big Rob.
Mahoney.
Big Rob.
Yeah. Anyone who has not heard episode 37, go back and listen. It's Rubik's guitarist Robert Mahoney. He shares a great story that
And he makes fun of me. It's great.
yeah shares a great story that he personally overcame, and because of that, he's still able to be
Here.
a rock star.
I
And
choked
here,
up on that episode, man. Rob, you a real one, son.
Not wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, real quick, Frankie, talk to us about your band and the relationship that you have with Rob.
So, I've been in a band. It was once called Left Lane. That was back in the day, and then I switched it to Rubik's. And I know you guys had talked about it, what the meaning behind Rubik's was.
Yes.
And he mentioned a movie, which is going to segue into the next part. But I basically said it was me, Dante, the filmmaker, like a metal drummer, a funk gospel bass player, and like an R&B singer.
Mm-hmm.
And we were a whole bunch of different colors, shapes, and sizes that came together and kind of made tunes. So the first thing I thought of was a Rubik's Cube. You put everything together and it works. It was super cheesy, but it works. So I added an extra. I did Rubik's with 2 X's to make it seem
gotta
dramatic
do it,
or
yeah.
theatrical. I don't know.
That's cool, bro.
Yeah, but it's been a fun ride. We have original songs, and Rob was in many other bands, as you know.
Yep.
And after he left his last band, we were at Coheed and Cambria WRRV Sessions at Newburgh Brewing Company. Love that place. Shout out them. And he ran into me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Looking for a guitar player." He's like, "Let's get together." And I was like, "Great." And then here we are today. And I'm glad, go listen to his episode. He'd been through some things in his life, and he's still rocking and rolling. So I'm eternally grateful for that. He's a great friend, great dude, great guitar player.
Yeah,
great person to know, as you know.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah,
I was gonna say. I'm sorry, bro.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying he's a showman. Too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the man can do it all. He's a jack of all trades. He markets the shit out of the band. Like
his Instagram
follow
stories
him on
are-
Instagram. He
just watch him
promotes Rubik so well.
Yeah.
He's such a presence. Like
100%.
he a real one.
Yeah.
My man, shout out Rob.
Hell yeah.
Rob was my childhood neighbor, so we used to spend hours, kicking it as kids. You know what I'm saying? Summer days were, sun up. We were outside doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And so shout out to Rob. Now, if that wasn't, like a big, like, oh, no shit moment, I have to bring up to you, Danny Bell Peppers.
Oh.
Talk about it.
Okay, so you have or know, I mean, I don't really know the story, so we're trying to hear about this. You share a relationship with someone who I've also known forever, and that is RJ or Ronnie Griffin.
There you go.
Or Ronnie Gryffindor.
So,
Ronald.
talk to us a little about that. Can you explain your relationship with him, what it is?
Ronnie is one of my oldest pals, man. Me and him met in high school. This dude took me to prom, literally, was the chauffeur. Just known that guy forever. We played lacrosse together. We work currently together. And I found out, I don't know how, but he said you and him are related. You're relatives. It's all relative.
It's all relative.
So I'm like, yeah, this guy has a great podcast. Have you heard it? He's like, yeah, that's my cousin.
Yeah, that is crazy. I
Small
was going to
world.
say, it is. He is my cousin. Sweetest guy. You know what I'm
Sweetest dude
saying?
ever.
That's so accurate.
And has been a supporter of our podcast from day one.
And my band, he's a real one.
Yeah. Any show I've ever been to, I think he's usually there.
Yeah. If he can't make it, he's always posting about it or giving
Super
support
positive
somewhere. Yeah.
guy.
He's the
Just
best.
someone you want in your corner, backing you up. Love you, Ron.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out RJ. I call him RJ.
Where's
I've
the J
always
come
since
from?
I was a kid.
Ronnie
but-
Jr. or-
Ronnie, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But I mean, I remember in one of your guys' shows, maybe early on at some point, but you guys had, I think, mentioned him or something on a show, and when I had heard, I was like, "What the shit?" Like,
Small world.
yeah, that's what I had.
It's on Instagram. It's actually the American Pie episode. If you go scroll through the pictures, you'll see some very embarrassing pictures of myself, Frankie, and then the last one is me and Ronnie Griffin with my date.
Oh
He
shit!
took us to prom. Literally, he drove
That's
us
what's
to prom in
up.
his mom's car. It was a great time.
Legendary.
But yeah, super good friend.
Speaking of Ron, he's going to be on our next podcast, September 8th.
Shout out,
Yeah.
yes, that's
We'll be
awesome.
sure
I was
to
gonna
listen
say
to
you guys
that.
got to get him on.
Oh, yeah.
You
We've
gotta
been
get
waiting
him
a long time.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. This
Like I
is
said,
just-
he's been a listener from day one, and we've been trying to get him in. So we finally locked the date. He will be coming up with.
What movie are we doing?
Should we announce it here? We talked about it on our
Let's
last
talk about
episode.
it.
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yeah.
classic Indiana Jones
Bum,
film.
ba-dum, bam, bum, ba-dum.
Do you guys usually say the name? Because I don't remember hearing
We
you say
do
the
and
name
we
at the
don't.
last
I
episodes.
kind of want to get away from it. I like the anticipation and like. Did you guys announce your next guest?
Well, no, I'm just like
No,
No, right?
when I was listening, I'm like, oh, I should have watched that,
Mm.
but I didn't hear it in the episode before.
Right.
That's what
so
my
I'm like-
thinking is. If you watch it,
It's like a
you know what's coming
monitor.
next. Then when you
Yeah.
listen to it, you can
I don't know.
listen to everything we're talking about. Be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Or, no, you're fucking stupid and you need to
Yeah.
talk about something.
Well,
You know?
It kind of goes back on what I said about caring what people think, but I don't know. I always get self-conscious. Like if somebody doesn't like a film that they know we're going to do, they'll be like, "Oh, I'll just skip that one and wait for the next." So I'd rather maybe keep it ambiguous for now and just surprise you with a new episode.
we're very similar, bro, when it comes to approaches like that. Because I think now that when you had said that, I think that's kind of why, like, how I've kept certain things too. Because you don't like, and you referred to it too, Frankie. Like, you don't want to give them too much.
Yeah.
You want them to come back for more and whatnot. And I don't want people to know too much or see something and be like, oh yeah, nah, fuck that. Let me skip it. At least, because at least for me, I know our show is all over the place. We have so many different topics that we cover and touch, but I'm willing to bet that there's something in one of those episodes that somebody can relate to or vibe with, even if you're not gonna like agree or like what the main topic is. Even maybe one of our side tracks that we hit, you gonna fuck with that. You know what I'm saying, or something. But I guarantee you, I guarantee you, in every episode, you're gonna find something that you can like. So I mean, I respect the process, bro. But we're gonna be wrapping it up soon. But is there anything else, Frankie or Danny, that you want to say or ask us?
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Speaking of movie scripts, we also have movie scripts written.
Really?
If you don't know by now, if you've been listening,
We talk about it to all the people that don't listen to our podcast.
I wanted to stop talking about it. Like we neither have to either patent it or like do it because somebody's gonna steal our idea.
I know.
I feel the same way.
I got a podcast that I just have to shoot the film myself, or otherwise it's never gonna happen. Yeah, we have a script. We wrote it in a Dunkin' Donuts.
Awesome.
I think Rob actually talked about it because where the name comes from, there's two.
And that movie is also called Rubik's. Yeah.
Dope.
I'm
I'm such a selfish prick. I just use one thing just to save ideas.
But I think the reason we haven't done it is because we're locked into the idea of keeping our friends as the actors.
Yeah.
And adulting being adulting. Like it's
hard
hard
to
to find
get,
people. And this goes hand in hand with announcing who your guest is going to be. Like if you feel locked into somebody, then if they can't make it, then you're like, well, I still have to do that episode because we said we're going to release that episode. So then it just gets put forward. Whereas I could just sub somebody else and do that episode later. So
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to that. No, is there anything else? I don't know. Did you have anything?
no, I wanted to get you guys. I know you said you collect M&Ms. Dispensers. I really wanted to get you guys the one with them eating the movies, and I see you have two of them. You have that one and the one upstairs.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
dude.
those
Thanks, bro.
duplicates
Yeah,
are down here, right?
Yeah, it's
It's a
tough.
cool hobby.
Tough to find ones that I don't own anymore. But yeah. Angela, is there anything else that you want to ask these guys?
I just wanted to ask, like, is there ever a movie that you would not watch and talk about?
I don't think so. We're pretty
Or
much
anything
open to.
goes?
Yeah, maybe just this the Serbian film that you talked about with your horror guy.
Yeah,
That
don't
episode. That was a
blame
great
you.
episode too, by the way. Yeah.
We'll feel a lot of different films. I mean, we'll feel it out. For me, I really want to do like at least one of every genre. Like we haven't done a Western yet, and I remember
Or an
the early
animated film.
That's a good goal.
Yeah, the earlier conception of this film, it came about from I was talking to Chris Gerline, one of our buddies. He said he was talking about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. How have you never seen this film? It's a classic Western. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know Westerns like that. So I'm like, let's incorporate that at some point. But no, there's nothing we won't watch. We'll give it a shot. If we all hate it and we don't feel that we can talk about it, then that's what we'll
Scratch
do.
it.
Or we'll
scratch
do
it.
the episode and
But,
just
like,
say it sucked.
Look, right now in front of me, I have 4 pages of films that we haven't seen, and we're just slowly scratching them off. So please feel free to suggest whatever you want. We'll watch it.
We do have plans for like a few months ahead.
Yeah.
And we try to have ideas for like 4th of July to watch like Independence Day or something that goes along with a holiday just as a
Right.
theme
Right.
type
Yeah,
thing.
We're anniversaries too. Like so many films are turning 30
Yeah,
years old, 40, 50.
Yeah. Or if a new movie, like a remake comes out, you watch the original or something like that.
Like
you
Get
know?
Out is a fairly recent film, but that's a classic in the horror genre. Like
even-
Jordan Peele.
When Maverick came out, we wanted to do Top Gun,
Right.
but we couldn't get together. And, that was another one. Yeah, but anything like that.
Anything.
Yeah.
Right on.
As long as it's a classic, well-known film, we will watch it.
Yeah.
Good to know. I'll come up with something.
Yeah, you got to
Bring
be
it
on.
on.
Both of
There's
you.
so much I
Would
haven't
no
watched.
Leave a
country for old men
Yes,
be
I
considered a
love that
Western?
movie.
Okay.
Western?
I was just saying because I was trying to think of some Western movies because it's not one that I'm
There's
very
a-
familiar with. So
anything with John Wayne in it or something like that.
oh, I got you.
I know
But
Clint Eastwood did a whole
Clint
bunch
Eastwood,
of
yeah.
No Country for Old Men popped in
Yeah.
my head.
Yeah,
so
That's a
that
good
way.
mix. That's like kind of horror, kind of Western, a little bit film noir.
Little
Yeah.
badass.
Badass.
Yeah.
So
Freaking Ginslinger.
All right. Once again, the Virginal Cinephiles Podcast. Danny, Frankie.
Yes.
Thank you for making the trip and
Thank
agreeing
you.
to come on. It's
Thank
all
you,
relative.
man.
Thank you so much for having us on and putting us on, man.
We
Very
appreciate
much
you guys too.
appreciated.
Danny, let me start with you, bro. Anyone or anything that you want to shout out, plug, by all means.
Definitely Taylor. Love you, girl.
Hey, Taylor.
Yeah.
Wish you were here. All our friends who have been supporting us from day one. My beautiful wife, Danielle, who was on the Juno episode. Listen to that one. My kids. I love you guys. Just you guys. Thank you for being an inspiration for this podcast. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. Such a good time.
Awesome. What are some of your social media accounts in case fans want to get at you?
Yeah, well, the podcast, you can find us on Instagram at the Virginal Cinephiles. We all kind of man that, so please, like I said, feel free to give us suggestions, comments, concerns, movie suggestions. Me personally, you could find me at drosa27 on Instagram. The podcast is pretty much on every platform. Like Spotify is the main one, but you can find us
it's on a
Apple
couple
Podcasts.
different ones. Yeah, Apple Podcasts.
Most of the main streamers, you could find us.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Frankie, anything that you want to plug, shout out?
Shout out Dominique, Crown Fox Productions, Your Sequel Sucks podcast. It's all relative, obviously. The Virginal Cinephiles. You could, I think, it's just the Virginal Cinephiles on Instagram, right?
Yep, and there's also a number on there if you don't want to comment or anything. Feel free to call. We will play it live and comment on whatever you're
Absolutely.
hitting us up with.
You can listen to my band Rubik's. We have original stuff on like every platform. It's RUBIXX. Our Instagram is Rubik's Music, RUBIXX Music. No underscores or dashes, anything like that. Go listen, check it up, watch Rob's reels, and his all this promoting stuff. And that's it.
Right on. So once again, for our fans and listeners, It's All Relative fans, definitely check out the Virginal Cinephiles podcast. Check these guys out. Get in touch with them. I know that a lot of our listeners are fans of movies, enjoy movies. You'll enjoy their show. It's a good time. Get at them. Leave some reviews.
Even bad ones. We accept all.
Yep.
Even bad ones. All right, last question for you both.
Yes.
Someone in your life, whether it be real life, personal life, social media life, whatever, somebody that you guys know or could recommend for a guest to be on our show. Who you got? Someone you can think of?
Well, you can always have Dominique on. She has, just herself in general. She's all about movie stuff too, and I know you love movies.
Awesome.
And she's a filmmaker who is constantly working.
Awesome.
Young, up and coming. I mean,
Nice.
definitely
I
somebody you
respect
want to
that.
talk to.
I do have a friend who is also like in the medicinal cannabis world
Mm-hmm.
and has a lot of education on it.
Awesome.
And I don't know if you've had anything on that on the podcast about that or not. But
Early
Early,
on, back when dispensaries weren't even legal, before when bud was legal in New York. We had
Copy.
someone. So I mean, to now have somebody, since it's been updated and everything, somebody to be, I mean, that would be great. I mean, excellent recommendations.
yeah, for sure.
I have
appreciate
another
that.
one from Your Sequel Sucks, Nick, who is also a
Storybook writer, unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a screenplay or
No,
he works on.
novel. It's called Order of Dust.
He's a
and I
writer.
forget the other one. Yeah.
Definitely a cool person to collaborate with. If I know you said you have a script, possibly. I've yet to. Have I met him?
Maybe
shows,
at one
Morris Stone
point.
shows.
Yeah. He's a great writer. Nick Evans
nice
is his
guy.
name.
Yep.
And yeah, he's on Goodreads. That's an app and stuff like that. He has his book for sale, and they have Barnes and Nobles, all the same thing. Yeah,
Awesome.
great books.
All right. Angela, what are your social media accounts?
So I'm at randomann78 on Instagram.
All right, and you guys can always find me at Josh_Toth3. That's my Instagram, and my Facebook is Joshua Toth. Big shout out to Stellar Sound and Media and our editor, Jackson Wallace.
Also, a big shout out to Timber Design and Build and the whole team. If you're interested in home renovations, improvements, additions, clean quality work, contact Chris Rawl or Jeff Rigman. You can contact them through Facebook, YouTube, IG, or any social media platform. You can also find us, It's All Relative, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify for podcasters, YouTube Music, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. You can also find us on Instagram at all_relative_podcast. You could message us there. Any recommendations, ideas, questions, if you want to be a guest or someone you know wants to be a guest, sponsorship opportunities, just about anything, you can get a hold of us there, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Don't forget to subscribe and follow It's All Relative on whichever platform that you guys are listening from. If you are using Apple or Spotify, please leave a quick review, leave a rating. Those continue to help us and the show out, and we need that to help keep the show growing. So please leave a rating, leave a review. All right, that's a wrap. Danny, Frankie, thanks again, guys.
Thank you
guys so much.
This was fun.
So much fun.
Awesome. All right, everyone, stay safe, stay kind, stay proud and powerful, and we'll see everyone soon. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.